So you've heard the saying, you get what you pay for, but does that hold true with cellular trail cameras? Well, today's test ought to shed some light on that because I'm testing 4 cameras head to head. These are some of the top names in the industry, and in fact, some of the most expensive trail cameras available. One of these cameras costs nearly $600. I'm going to test these 4 cameras head to head at the same time from the same location under the same conditions. I'll test things like trigger distance and trigger speed, daytime and nighttime photo quality. We'll look at things like the ease of use through the app and what the app looks like. I'll discuss the cost of the cameras and the monthly plans available and much more testing. All of that and more starting right now. Now let's meet the contestants in no particular order. First up is the Spartan GoLive 2. This camera retails for $449.95, and it'll operate on either AT&T or Verizon networks. It is advertised as having blackout flash and offers a 2-year warranty. The camera is also advertised as having a 0.4 second trigger speed and has a PIR detection range up to 80 feet. Next is the Recoynx Hyperfire 2. This camera retails for $599.99 and operates on either the AT&T or Verizon networks. It operates on 12 AA batteries, is advertised as having no glow covert flash. This camera has a 0.2 second trigger speed and is advertised as having 100-foot detection range on its PIR sensor. The third camera in my test is the Trax by Cuddeback. This camera is the most affordable in my test and it retails for $120. The Trax from Cuddeback will operate on the AT&T or Verizon networks and is powered by 4 D-size batteries. This camera is available in low glow or black flash options and offers a 1-year warranty. It's advertised as having a 0.25 second trigger speed, and Cuddeback does not list its detection range. The fourth and final camera in my test is the Exodus Render. Now this camera retails for $240 and is powered by 8 AA batteries. It is available in AT&T or Verizon models and operates on 8 AA batteries. It's advertised as having black flash and offers a 5-year warranty. The Render has a 0.3 second trigger speed and has a 70-foot detection range on its PIR sensor. So we've met the 4 contestants and now it's time to put them to work. I'm simply going to show you how I'm testing each of these categories. I'm going to make it as fair as possible by testing them all from the same place at the same time. I'll obviously show you the results of each of my tests and I'll give you some of my thoughts and opinions on each of these cameras throughout the testing, but in the end I'll pick an ultimate winner. If I could only own 1 camera, which of these 4 cameras would it be? Now obviously some of these categories are just my personal opinion. You might be using your trail camera in a totally different way or expect different results. You can still look at my testing and pick out which camera would be right for you. Again, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm testing these cameras. I'll show you the results and you can form your own opinion. So let's get started. So for the first comparison test, I'm simply looking at their physical size and my initial impression of the camera. I'll be pointing out some of the similarities and the differences between these cameras. The Spartan GoLive 2 operates on a micro SD card, while the 3 other cameras all operate on a full-size SD card. Another thing you'll quickly notice is how these cameras are powered. While all 4 cameras do have external power ports, the Spartan and the Reconyx cameras are both powered by 12 AA batteries. The Exodus Render is powered by 8 AA batteries, and the Trax by Cuddeback is operated by 4 D batteries. With all 4 cameras having the batteries in them, I weighed each of the cameras. The Spartan weighed 1 pound 12 ounces, Recoynx 1 pound 8 ounces, Trax by Cuddeback is 2 pounds 4 ounces, and the Exodus is 1 pound 6 ounces. Some of the other differences that I already discussed is the warranty period. The Spartan has a 2-year warranty, the Recoynx and the Exodus have 5-year warranties, and the Trax by Cuddeback has a 1-year warranty. Something else that sets these cameras apart, the Spartan GoLive 2 offers a live view, meaning this is the only camera of these four that you can log into through the app at any time and actually see a live view of what the camera's seeing. Another thing worth noting is 3 of these 4 cameras offer video capabilities, while the Trax from Cuddeback does not offer any video capabilities. You can simply take pictures with this camera. So I have the 4 cameras set up as close as physically possible. I've leveled the base and have them setting approximately 30 inches off the ground. I enlisted the help of 3 construction cones. I have the first cone at 30 feet, second at 60 feet, and the third cone at 90 feet. I've went through the settings of each of the 4 cameras and made them as close as possible with the options that are available for each of these cameras. I have them set on a 3 photo burst, and I'm simply going to walk at the distances of each of the cones. In this test, you can take note of which camera takes the photo first at each of those distances. You can also see the clarity of the daytime pictures through this test, since all 4 will be under the exact same conditions. And lastly, you can take note of the trigger distance in the daytime as I walk at the 30, 60, and 90 feet. I'll also repeat this test at nighttime and show you the results of those as well. Here are the results of the 30-foot walk test. Picture 1 and picture 2. 60 foot, picture 1, picture 2, and 90 feet, picture 1, and then 2. Notice the Exodus did not trigger at 90 feet. Here's the nighttime 30-foot test, picture 1 and picture 2. The 60-foot test, picture 1 and picture 2. And the 90-foot test, only 1 camera triggered, and that was the Reconyx. Next, I'll show you a full screen look from each of the cameras so you can better judge the quality. First picture is from Spartan. Second is from Recoynx. Third is from Trax by Cuddeback. Fourth is Exodus. Again, the same thing at nighttime. It's the Spartan. Next is Recoynx. This is from Trax by Cuddeback. And lastly, Exodus. So for this test, I'm going to walk directly in front of the cameras within 3 to 5 feet of the cameras. We'll be able to determine several things. First, I'm going to run a stopwatch, and we're going to see how quickly these cameras can send me a notification that something has happened. Obviously, they're all 4 going to trigger because I am so close to the cameras. The second thing we'll take notice, can any of the 4 cameras actually capture a picture of my leg or me as I walk quickly in front of these cameras at close range? So I'll start a stopwatch on my phone, walk closely in front of these cameras. Let's see these results. So all 4 cameras should have triggered. I'll simply wait until the notifications come in. We have the first notification. Recoynx is less than 12 seconds. Recoynx sent a second photo. Now Spartan has sent one around 17 seconds. So the Recoynx was the quickest. Spartan was the second fastest. And now Cuddeback is around 27 seconds. We'll wait to see how long the Exodus takes to send that notification that there has been activity. So it's been over 2 minutes and I am tired of waiting. When I look at the app, there is no notification signal in the Exodus app. Let's open up the camera and see if there's any photos. I'll refresh the photos and see if it actually captured a photo and simply didn't send a notification. When I open up the photos, there is a photo of me walking directly in front of the camera, so it captured me there, but it did not send me a notification like the other 3 did that there was activity. Well, all 4 cameras triggered while I was up close and personal. The Recoynx did not get a picture of me as I walked past. Next, I did some testing with my golf cart, both daytime and nighttime. Here's picture 1 and picture 2. Nighttime, picture 1, picture 2. The Cuddeback did not trigger at nighttime. I also tried running past the camera at nighttime. Here are the results. I also tested the cameras in low lighting conditions. Notice only the Exodus had switched over to the IR mode. I wanted to test the video and audio capabilities of the trail cameras. Only 3 of the 4 cameras have video available, so this is the video and audio test. I wanted to test the video and audio capabilities of the trail cameras. Audio capabilities of the trail cameras. Only 3 of the 4 cameras have video available, so this is the video and audio test. So that was the video test of the 3 cameras that do have video capabilities. The Recoynx only has 10-second videos. The Spartan, you can have up to 30-second videos if you choose, and the Exodus allows you to choose videos up to 1 minute and 30 seconds long. And although the Recoynx has 10-second video, during my testing, it cut off my video right in the middle. I tried to repeat the test and it did the exact same thing, so I'm not sure what's happening there. I do have other sample videos from all 3 of these cameras that I'll be showing you in just a bit during my final thoughts. Before I can get to my final thoughts and actually pick a winner of these 4 cameras, I want to quickly show you their apps. I'll do a quick overview of the apps and I'll also give you the monthly plans that are available through each of the manufacturers. So we'll start out with the Spartan camera. If you remember, this is the only camera that offers a live view. So let's check that out. If you click live in the app, this should bring up a live view of exactly what the camera is seeing. We do have a live view and there is audio available if you choose. Now this live view is available even if the camera has not been triggered. Again, it's as simple as opening up the app, clicking on this live view. You could be 1,000 miles away from your trail camera and see exactly what the trail camera is seeing in near live time. The Spartan app is easy to navigate. You do have your gallery here and it can send both photos and videos to the app. They're broken down here into thumbnails and you can click and play a video directly from the app, as well as looking at each of your photos. You can make them full screen, very handy through the app. I'll quickly show you some of the settings that are available. If you click the gear icon, you can click on the camera's settings and it will bring up a list of settings. With the camera mode, you can choose photo, video, or a combination of photo and video. There are trigger settings available and you can schedule your camera to only be active certain times of the day. There's system settings that you can adjust and fine-tune the sight or portion of the camera as well. Next, we'll check out the Recoynx camera, the Recoynx Hyperfire 2. Takes a second to load their app. It's one of the slower apps to load, but once loaded, the app has worked very well for me. Gives you a whole list of thumbnails and pictures that were taken. This camera cannot receive videos, or at least I have not been able to get videos to download to the app, but all photos will be downloaded. If you do operate this camera on video mode, you do not get even a thumbnail of the video, but you can operate this camera on photo plus video. In that case, you will get the photo sent to you. The videos will all be recorded to the SD card. This app has a lot of features that we won't go into, but if you do click on your camera, you can bring up a list of the settings. With this app, you do get up-to-date information like your battery strength and signal strength of the cell camera. You can click the gear icon and see what settings are available with this camera. Here are the list of settings that are available through the app. Again, through your events, you can choose whether you want it to be photo, video, or photo and video. And you have a lot of options to fine-tune this camera and to get it to do exactly what you need it to do in your situation. The third camera is the Cuddeback. This app loads very fast and you do get the option to have large thumbnails. You can scroll through. You can also make each one of those full size if you would like. You can click on the camera setting. Here you can go through the settings that are available with this camera. I did not find this app as user-friendly as the other 3 cameras, but there are some settings that you can change here between your linking settings and the camera settings. You can simply type in a new value here, and ultimately you can change some of the settings of your camera with this app. The last camera is the Exodus camera, and it is actually powered by third-party Scout Tech. So we'll click on the list of cameras and bring up the Exodus camera. The Exodus will send videos to the app, much like the Spartan camera. You do get a thumbnail of the video, and then you can also play the video. You also can set up very large thumbnails, easy to see. You can click on them and make them full size. Very easy to see or download from this point. Through the app, it also gives you your signal strength and battery strength. You can click the gear icon, bring up a list of settings that you can change. Through the app, you can change the upload interval. You can see that I have real time selected here. That will consume the most amount of batteries. In the mode, you can choose between photos or videos or hybrid, a photo followed by a video. You can adjust image size and many other settings. This app was relatively easy to use and easy to navigate. As with any site or trail camera, there will be additional site or fees with each of these cameras, whether you want to pay that monthly or yearly. If you do choose yearly, you can save some money because you get a discount for prepaying up to 12 months at a time. There are many plans available with these cameras, and there's no great way to compare them directly because each one does it a little bit different, but I will go over the minimum cost for each of these cameras. This is the lowest plan available from each of these cameras. For the Spartan camera, the lowest plan available is 500 MB per month, and that is $15.99. That's where the plans start, and they go up from there if you want more data. For the Recoynx Hyperfire, they do have a $5 plan that will give you 200 photos. Again, they have many options available as well. You can buy an additional 2,000 photos to add to that original 200 photos, and that's $5 more. So in reality, you can get 2,200 photos for $10 a month with Reconyx. Tracks by Cuddeback also has a $5 plan available. That is for 250 photos. That is the minimum plan that they have available. So the plans start at $5. They have many options that go up from there. If your needs are more than 250 photos, they have those available, but the cheapest plan they have is $5 per month. The Exodus render is again a little different than the other 3 cameras because you're going through a third party. The Scout Tech app is who handles the site or needs of the camera, so you have to pay your bill through Scout Tech. They have a $7 minimum line fee for the Exodus camera, and then you can buy the minimum amount of data for an extra $3. So the absolute cheapest that you can operate this camera, you'll get 25 MB of data, and it would cost you $10 per month. The Scout Tech app is available for a variety of different makes and models, not just Exodus cameras. So you may have a totally different brand camera operating on that Scout Tech app. You're going to share your data throughout all of the makes and models of cameras that are associated to your name. So that may be a positive or a negative, depends how you look at it, but be aware that using this third-party app, there's a line fee of $7 for the Exodus render, and the minimum amount of data you can purchase is $3. If your needs are more than 25 MB of data, you can purchase that. There are many other plans available, but the cheapest that you'll operate the camera is $10. It is time for my final thoughts, where I'll give you my opinion after actually using these 4 cameras. You have seen the test results where I pinned these cameras head to head from the same location at the same time, but previous to that testing, I have used each of these cameras separately for nearly 3 months. So I have plenty of photos from each of the cameras from different locations that I'll share with you throughout my final thoughts. Ultimately, if I could only own one camera, which one will it be? Well, I'm going to share that with you, but I'm going to start with the bottom of the list first. The lowest pick for me would be the Tracks by Cuddeback. Unfortunately, I was not impressed with the Tracks by Cuddeback. Now, right on their packaging, they advertise designed in the USA. I do not dispute that, but the camera is made in China. I feel that this camera has the poorest photo quality of all 4 of these cameras. Now keep in mind, this is by far the most budget-friendly camera at only $120, but even at that $120 price point, the photo quality was very poor. Add to that fact that this camera takes D-cell batteries. No matter how hard Cuddeback tries to convince me that the D-cell batteries are the way to go, there's a reason why 99% of all other manufacturers have moved to AA batteries. I am not a fan of the D-cell batteries. I would much prefer AA lithium batteries. The third thing, the camera has an outdated menu system in my opinion. Couple that with the fact that the app cannot control all the settings on the camera. There are certain settings that you have to go through the camera's menu and physically change them. The app simply does not give you the option to change all of the settings. I find the menu system on the camera to be outdated. In my opinion, it's like they designed something maybe 20-25 years ago and stuck with that and refused to change or update it. In my opinion, it is not intuitive. It is not even easy for me to turn on or turn off the camera with the antiquated system. And when you add all that up, I put the Tracks by Cuddeback at the bottom of the list when compared to these 4 cameras. Moving up the list to number 3, I would place the Exodus Render. Now keep in mind, I purchased these cameras 3 or 4 months ago for this review, and since then, this Exodus Render has been discontinued. They are not even selling this camera anymore, and it has been replaced with a better model. Now, there may be a reason for that, because in my testing, the Exodus Render did not perform very well. It had the shortest detection range of all the cameras I tested. They advertise it to be around 70 feet, and I believe that's pretty accurate, but the other 3 cameras performed better at further distances. I felt the overall photo quality from the Exodus Render was about average. The daytime photos were good, but it fell short at nighttime. The 65-foot IR range at nighttime, coupled with the black flash, left pretty fuzzy photos at nighttime. Now the Exodus Render does offer video capabilities, but in my opinion it was the worst quality of the 3 cameras that had video. Along with that, I felt that the Exodus Render had the poorest audio on its videos of the 3 cameras that I tested. Now because I ranked this camera 3 out of 4 does not make it a bad camera. In fact, the Exodus Render offers a 5-year warranty, and that's probably one of their best selling points. So if you're looking for a camera that has one of the longest warranty periods available, you definitely want to check out Exodus. In my opinion, this camera was not worth the $240 price tag. Again, this is just my thoughts, but I feel like I'm probably buying that 5-year warranty in advance. In other words, this camera might be a $120 camera. You're buying that second camera right away with that $240 price tag. For that 5-year warranty, they can easily replace this camera with a brand new camera. And again, this is just my opinion, but I do not believe that the Exodus Render was worth $240. I'll be curious how the new models stack up compared to this Exodus Render. So that leaves 2 cameras left, and for my number 2 position, I would pick the Recoynx Hyperfire 2. Now this camera performed very well in my testing, and it has a very good trigger speed and IR flash distance. It probably had the best distance of the IR flash of any of the cameras that I tested. This camera also maintained very good signal strength in my testing. You'll also remember that this camera did very good in the speed at which it sends notifications to the app, and I like that fact. I did feel that the photo and video quality fell short of the Spartan GoLive 2. And with its nearly $600 price tag, I was hoping for a little bit more quality in both the photos and the videos. Now keep in mind that the Reconyx offers a 5-year warranty, and that matches the warranty from Exodus. The Reconyx is also advertised as built in the USA, but with global products. And in my opinion, that means that the components are probably made in China, like all the other cameras, then shipped to the US for assembly. And to me, that does not justify the $600 price tag. And that brings us to the top of the list. In my opinion, of these 4 cameras, the Spartan GoLive 2 was the best camera. By far, this camera had the best photo and video quality. And again, that can be subjective, but to my eyes, it had the best color and the best clarity. The videos were excellent, and it had good audio included with the videos. If you'll notice with the Spartan GoLive 2, it had the widest field of view. Because of that wider field of view, it does make the objects appear to be a bit further away, especially when compared to the other 3 cameras that had narrower fields of view. I personally like that wider field of view. That really came into play when I did the video test. I did it all at the exact same time from the same locations with those 3 cameras. The Spartan, you could see my entire body, while the other 2 cameras cut off my head. That's where the wider field of view really comes into play. It offers more forgiveness into making sure you have that camera set up just right and that you're not going to miss the action. Another thing that I loved about the Spartan GoLive 2 was when you operated this camera on photo plus video. There was absolutely no delay between the photo and the start of the video. With almost every other camera I've ever operated, if you put it on photo followed by a video, the camera takes a photo, but then there's a slight bit of a delay, some cameras longer than others, before the video starts. In my opinion, this camera looks like it's taken that photo from the beginning of the video. In other words, on this Spartan camera, when you have it on photo plus video, the photo is immediately followed by the video. There is absolutely no delay, no missing the action. So if the photo is a picture of a deer jumping through the frame, when you watch the video, you'll get to see that deer jumping through the frame as the video starts. I absolutely love this with the Spartan camera. And again, I don't know of any other camera that can do this. The Spartan also performed very well in my trigger test with the trigger speed and trigger distance. Now the Spartan is not perfect, and if you'll remember back to the cost of the plans, the Spartan had the highest minimum. In other words, it cost more per month to operate this Spartan versus choosing the lowest plan of the other models. But with that said, if you're looking for a camera that has excellent photo and video quality, good trigger distance and trigger speed, remember this camera has live view that none of the other cameras have. I have yet to mention it, but this camera is unique in the fact that it has an internal lithium battery. That means it has a GPS tracker that can operate even if somebody removes the trail camera's batteries and the SD card. So if a thief would steal this camera, take out the batteries, and start moving with this camera, you can receive a notification and track this camera even without batteries in it. That makes this camera unique to the other cameras that I tested, and that can give you peace of mind that even if you're spending $450 on this camera, it has top of the line GPS tracking. So now I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this test and these cameras? Which would be your favorite pick of these 4 cameras? Do you have any questions or concerns on how I did this testing? Do you have suggestions or recommendations for future testing? Well, I'd love to hear from you. Please put your comments and questions down in the comment section. I'll be placing links to these cameras down in the description. In the case of the Exodus Render, which is no longer available, I'll simply put a link to Exodus website for their newest models that are available. I realize this was a lot of information jammed into a relatively short amount of time, so you want to check out the description. You can also go back and re-watch any part of this video by using those chapter markers. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.